those of you who don't know, Omai was a past producing mine, and it's in Guyana. I have a little map of South America just so that any of you think it's Ghana and West Africa. No, Guyana is a small country on the north side of South America. So obviously some forward-looking statements and some talk about exploration targets. So we do have two very significant orogenic gold deposits. And I'm an exploration geologist, obviously been in the business for a long time. And you know, it's every geologist's dream to basically work on a project where you already know there's gold, i.e. it's a past producer. This one was shut down when the gold price was $400, and when it operated, the gold price actually hit $250 an ounce. So far sight from what we're looking at today. So there's lots of benefits because it was a past producer, but I think what you're looking at here are two deposits that are quite large. So the global resource on this project is 2.1 million ounces of indicated and 4.4 million ounces of inferred. But remember, this was a past producer, so you know what the recoveries were. There's road access to this project. It's road access to the two largest cities in Guyana, and one of them is still a mining town, so you got skilled workforce and things like that. So we'll talk about some of the benefits, but these are orogenic deposits like you'd see in Ontario and Quebec, and so they have deep roots, and you can see one's on the right, that's an intrusion-hosted deposit, and on the left, that's a shear-hosted deposit that's actually 2.5 kilometers long. So we started this little adventure 4 years ago when the markets were tough and we were raising $2-3 million. We put all the money in the ground, and what I said to Jason Brewster, who's been working with me since the beginning, we used to share a sandwich to keep the cost down and the drilling maximized. So we've got about 40 million US today, so it's a different world, but we still try and keep the money focused on advancing this project. And it's a great market to be doing this. So on the left, you can see that we're not alone. It's almost, if you combine it, which we're not allowed to do, but about 4.7 million ounces. And in fact, in August of last year, we drilled for one more year, and we added 2.2 million ounces in 1 year's drilling, almost doubling that. It's absolutely a huge deposit. So this actually places us, one of the analysts, I think with Cormark, pulled this together, and the bottom axis looking at is the size of the deposit, and up the left-hand axis is the grade. So basically you can see Omai, even this surprised me, I have to say. We're way out there as one of the largest projects in the 2 gram category and larger, and we are only about a month from putting out our 5th 43101 resource. So we have been drilling, and we've drilled another 18,000 meters since our last resource estimate. And so our real path is to get that next resource out and then move straight to a PEA, which will be in Q2. So so just looking at this, I mentioned, so this produced 3.8 million ounces. It gives you, when it's a past producer, it means you know what the recoveries are. So it was a 92% recovery, and as I said, road access. And basically lots of, the closest community is actually a mining town, and we've already started our EIA process, so we're already on a permitting path. And that's the kind of thing you could only do in a country like Guyana, where they really want to see these large-scale mines come back into production. And so one of the key things about Omai is when it was in production, Guyana was still a poor country, and basically it was the backbone of their GDP. So people remember that because it shut down about 20 years ago. They remember the affluence that was brought about by a large-scale mine. President just wants to see redeveloped. Finance minister talks to me. And so, I mean, this is a great combination, a strong gold market, a very large deposit, good infrastructure, and a government that wants to see this move forward. So we are well funded, lots of things going on, and this will be a big year for us. As I said, the resource, the PEA, we're doing metallurgical work because we still have 3 drills that have already started turning. We have 2 more sitting ready to go. So it's notwithstanding the fact we're waiting for the PEA, we're going to start the work towards a PFS. Because basically, if someone holds the door open for you, run through, especially in this gold price environment. So just to give you an idea, you're looking at the map of Georgetown. Linden is really interesting. That's the closest town, and that road is being paved. And it's not because of us, because that main corridor is actually the road down to Brazil. And so the Guyanese government, there's a big offshore oil boom, they have lots of money for infrastructure, and they want to build a corridor with a paved road. So we're already very well on the way to Omai, but it's going to continue on. So actually Linden, it's had an open pit bauxite mine since 1918, so you can kind of guess those people know a few things about mining. I'm standing on the road there. You can see we have an airstrip on the property. It is a cleared site already. It didn't regrow after the mining, and we actually are in those two big warehouses that are over on the right-hand side there. We also have existing tailings facilities from the old days, and we just finished a 4-month study, and it looks like that we can refurbish them and expand them to handle almost 90 million tons of tailings. Not too many projects that have that. So this is just a quick look at the project, but you can see this is one of 2 deposits, but this is where we focus most of our attention. It's multiple, it's shear hosted multiple vertical zones, and you can see on the left, I've just given you a sample of some of the drill holes we get. You basically can't drill through that without hitting things, but you can see even hole 102 up there. Those are 4 intercepts within a single hole. And you can see like 28 grams over 9.3 meters, 8.9 over 5, 3.36 grams over 12.5. I mean, these are all spectacular, and they're in one hole. So it's been a great pleasure to be working on this, but there's still more. We stepped out to the east, and we're just trying to see what happened out there, and we hit 11 grams over 14.7 meters. So it's not over, but we know we can forge forward, especially in this market. This is just a cross-section. You can see it goes deep. Down at the bottom, we actually did a 2-kilometer hole to see if it extended at depth. And way down there, you'll see that we actually hit the shear zone 700 meters below the existing deposit, the last bottom known mineralization, because remember, these are vertical zones, and we hit 7 gold zones. So, and remember, that's a 2.5-kilometer strike, and we had 2.25-inch hole just down there in the 2 kilometers down, like 700 meters below the deposit, in a 2-kilometer hole. So, very large. That just shows you where that hole is. That's a great thing of working with juniors. I say no guts, no glory. So we went for it, and there it was. So, you got to be a little lucky in this business too. So just quickly, our stock price, we're up about 570% last year. There's been a tailwind for us, definitely, from the gold price. But I mean, we have very incrementally increased the size of this deposit, and we're not done. So I think it's sort of twofold. Now we're in a comfortable place where we can drive forward towards development. We're still doing some exploration because there are other targets there, and to be honest, that's sort of my sweet spot, is drilling off new zones. So as we move this towards production at the same time, it's very important that we keep going after some of these other targets, because Omai is certainly, it's a camp. And between what was mined and what we have already, it's over 10 million ounces.